Hello fellow Half-Life enthusiasts. With every new release of a good game, I always seem to find myself coming back to good old Half-Life mods, like comfort food. And today, I wanted to look into some cool mods, which you may or may not know about. The challenge I did for these mods, apart from endlessly scrolling on ModDB instead of getting a good night's sleep, was finding mods that either take place outside of the Half-Life universe, or at least outside of a research facility, to find some fun, creative mods that I haven't played yet. So, sit back and let's look into some awesome Half-Life mods. The first mod I'll be looking into is called Half-Life Urbicide, which I found out about thanks to fellow YouTuber Guncanny. It's a can carrying a gun. And immediately, the mod grabbed my attention with how great it looked. You play as Bruce, a warehouse supervisor, who while working his shift, is caught up in the alien invasion of Earth, where the creatures of Zen make their way to the city, while the government desperately fights off the invaders. Amidst the chaos, you need to get to your fiancée, Rebecca, who is in the city, to ensure her safety and then get the hell out of there. One of the things I love most about Half-Life mods is how bite-sized the fun feels. You have a short description which sets up the story and scenarios, and then you jump right into the action. I really like the depiction of the war on Earth. It really reminds me of War of the Worlds at times, the Tom Cruise one, not the Ice Cube one. The visuals and level layout of this mod is really good, and quite detailed. At times, I even thought I was in City 17 for a moment, forgetting that I'm playing on the Gold Source engine. I have noticed that with a lot of these Half-Life mods, creators seem to favor brutalist architecture, and from a map maker's standpoint, it does make sense to make more squarish buildings, especially with the Gold Source engine's limitations, which I feel they push to its limits in a lot of these mods. I remember trying to make a city map in the World Builder ages ago, and while I thought it looked pretty cool, it was very simple concrete blocks and whatnot, a far cry from how this mod looks. I also like how it's set in the late 90s, especially with the tech and everything. I also wondered if this magazine cover was from the time period, so I did some research. And it turns out it's a 1999 issue of Naughty Neighbors, so yeah, well done on the authenticity. The pacing and length of the mod is very good. It always delivers on action and atmosphere, but also never overstays its welcome, and a lot of quality and care was put into this mod. I will admit, however, this jump here took me a bit to pull off, as platforming has never been my strong suit in Half-Life, as well as admitting that it took me far too long to realize this switch was here, even with the lights turned on, and thinking that there must be a switch or button somewhere in this room. I think years of games with quest markers and highlighted objectives has ruined my cognitive ability in video games, as I never had this problem when I was 12. That and my eyes were much better back then. I think I need to fix my monitor, what the hell? And my brain. Overall, this mod was fantastic. The pacing is great, the combat arenas feel challenging, but fair, and the set pieces and aesthetics were very fun and very polished. Just be aware though, if you do play it on hard, you don't get any armor throughout the mod, because you're just a normal dude with no HEV suit or special vest. But it's still of course beatable on hard mode. I never learn. I'm too old for this shit. The mod could almost have a sequel, but honestly, I feel like it's great as it is, as a short but sweet standalone mod, and I definitely recommend checking it out. The next mod I'll be looking into is simply called Backrooms. And as there are a few backroom mods for Half-Life, I've linked everything in the description below. The backrooms and liminal spaces have fascinated me for some time now, so it was a no-brainer to check this out in Half-Life. Almost immediately, you'll come to realize that the tone for this mod is very comedic, and just a bit of fun. When your old mate, the G-Man, invites you outside to get some fresh air and indulge in the devil's lettuce.
Look at the weather outside, man. It's sunny as fuck. Come on, let's go smoke a joint outside, man.
Ah, so the G stands for ganja. When you try to leave your apartment, which already looks liminal enough, you accidentally no-clip into the backrooms and begin your journey. Wow, the backrooms look somewhat cozy on the Gold Source engine. From here, you can explore the maze-like environment, including the creepy dark areas that blast music that can kill you. But very quickly, you'll encounter this place. Tom's Diner? Wait, is that the Soup Nazi? So as I was sitting in the back rooms at the diner on the corner, I was sent on a mission to deliver some food to another area and began exploring as well, where I encountered brilliant voice acting that reminded me of something my brother and I would have done when we were teenagers.
God, you are here. We have been invaded by zombies.
A lot of the mod plays out as you needing to deliver something or send a message to someone, which I think cleverly adds a story to basically just getting from point A to B, while doing it in a way that blends absurd shitpost comedy with a storyline to try and get you out of the back rooms, which I find pretty fun. Like when you have to defeat Jerry's followers, who are a bunch of assassins with no further context, or fight literal Nazis in the back rooms. Wait, Jerry's followers? Tom's diner? Nazis? This lost season 10 of Seinfeld sure is weird. Also, this looks like a Wolfenstein 3D reference. Wait, it is a Wolfenstein 3D reference.
Hey man, this is a sign.
Sorry, Wolfenstein.
It's pronounced Frankenstein.
And in case you're wondering why they are blue, apparently they are called the Cold Reich. Yeah, I'm not making this up. Why are they here? Your guess is as good as mine. I also like that even though this mod is linear, there are corridors and rooms to explore that usually offer power-ups and other rewards, rather than simply just being dead ends. There are moments, however, where I feel like the enemies are just a little too stacked, but some of these encounters can be avoided by simply running past, though sticking around to explore a little bit usually offers rewards. The main draw of this mod isn't so much for the combat sections, but rather the exploration and, well, the fact that it's uniquely funny.
You like it? It's a Ferrari 250 Series GT from 1952, light blue. Perfect condition. Well, nearly perfect.
Did you see that car? Sweet piece of ass, ain't it? Too bad it's too narrow to get the fucking thing out.
Despite the jokiness and the mod not taking itself too seriously, I actually really like the concept of these people who ended up in the back rooms, banding together to survive and basically live there, starting their own backroom society and just being humans persevering. Yeah, I never thought a mod that starts with your pot-smoking friend inviting you outside, then getting trapped in another dimension where you fight zombies and Nazis would be so thought-provoking. Overall, the mod is quite fun. Yeah, it's a little rough around the edges and a bit silly, but I had a good time with it, and there were moments where I genuinely smiled or laughed out loud. When I played the Backrooms map in Gmod, it felt genuinely unsettling, but this one felt warmer for some reason, either because of the warm Gold Source engine, or maybe because of the comedic tone, maybe a bit of both. I really like the segment where the power keeps cutting out and coming back on, hearing the survivors cheer and awe every time this happens. Unfortunately, it didn't want to load the final part of the mod, but when I checked gameplay footage online, it's literally just the very end that doesn't load. Apparently this mod isn't technically finished, and the last update was some time ago now, but as it stands, I still think it's pretty fun. If you're ever curious to visit the Backrooms in Half-Life, and are a fan of comedic mods, then I definitely recommend checking this one out.
So then I said, bitch, you better give me my almond water or I'm gonna pistol whip you. Hell yeah, brother, that's the way to go.
You two are such assholes.
Finally, we have a mod called the whole Half-Life Tower, which out of all the mods on here today, is unique in the sense that it was created by multiple different modders as part of a group project, and then compiled together into one mod. Essentially, the mod takes place in a building, starting from the lobby and ending on the rooftop. But each floor that you visit, or should I say level, is created by a different modder, who had creative liberties to theme their level how they like, but keeping it to the same dimensions and placement of the exits, to ensure it feels like you're seamlessly reaching each level. I love this concept, as you get bite-sized challenges with a different feel in each level, as well as this somewhat surreal feel which I can't fully explain, where you get to experience an entirely different vibe in each level. And boy does this vibe, all located in this one unusual building. Each level has you finding a way to unlock the door to the next level, which is usually by finding a keycard, but there are other surprises in store as well. Each level also has you solving puzzles and or fighting enemies. There's even some stealth thrown in as well. I don't want to spoil too much, as it is fairly short, but I do recommend experiencing it yourself. But there are highlights that I do want to talk about, starting off with the visual design. As I've mentioned in my previous videos, the Gold Source engine has a very warm feel to it. I know nostalgia is probably a driving force, but there's something about empty office spaces at night that just hits right in the Gold Source engine. I kinda wish I could visit office spaces after hours in real life, or shopping centers, without the whole trespassing and all that. I don't know, it's a feeling that's hard to explain, but makes sense why I love exploring these environments in games. If you'd like to see me make a video on cool or liminal places in real life, let me know in the comments. The levels with the creative media office and Japanese setting were highlights for me visually. I also like the roundness of the vending machines. I wonder if this was in the brief too. The other thing which I really like about this mod is the level of creativity. You can have a small office space where you're looking for a keycard by rummaging through filing cabinets and searching behind objects, or you could enter an empty industrial looking level that seems to go on forever. I also like how they incorporated you recovering your health, but losing your weapons as you enter each new level as part of the building security system, which I thought was pretty clever. There was at least one puzzle that had me stumped for quite a while, which I think was partly me not realizing what I was meant to do, but also the previous puzzle confusing me, thinking it was part of the new puzzle. But other than that, I had no issues with this mod. Its bite-sized level design flows very well, and the mix of action, puzzle solving, and simply exploring gives it a lot of variety, as well as the thematic changes and even tone changes. I think comedy works quite well outside of the base Half-Life games.
Did you submit your status report to the administrator? Did you submit your status report to the administrator today?
So there you have it. Those are 3 Half-Life mods, chosen almost completely at random, which I recommend checking out. I also realized there is a sequel to the Tower mod, as well as one for Half-Life 2, as well as a plethora of other amazing mods to check out. Thank you so much for watching. What are some of your favorite Half-Life mods? Are there any that you can recommend? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, please be sure to like, comment and subscribe, and even suggest what you'd like to see me cover next. I thank you all once again, and I will see you all in the next one.
Hey man, glad to see you. I have a gift for you. My very own pipe shotgun. It may look like a piece of shit, but it does the trick.